Greetings, Mega Man fans, and welcome back to the Mega Man Rock Force LPA. In this episode, we'll be taking on Warman, the fusion of Shockman and Fuseman, who has the most fabulous facial hair. I don't know why. I'm also not sure why he's a crusader, but whatever. Another neat little tune here. I quite like this one. Anyway, onward! And, well, we can't progress right now. But we have these blue, oddly derpy looking elites, and what looks like a big blue button. If you shoot one, the elite will activate and proceed to follow you. Don't worry, it doesn't actually hurt you. And you can't actually hurt it. Firing a shot at it, it'll just bounce off and the elite will stop moving. This is the primary gimmick of the level. You're going to have to escort these big guys throughout the stage in order to hit these switches so you can progress. From one escort mission to another, eh? I will admit right now, this introduction could be handled at least a little better. It works decently well, but it only introduces part of the concept. There probably should have been a room earlier where one of these blue guys was already active and trying to jump at you, making the player think that they had encountered an enemy, and then when they shoot it, they find out, oh hey, it stopped. Why did it stop? Encouraging them to, perchance, try to experiment with it a little. I freely admit, that suggestion that I just pulled out right there, not my idea. My sister, Aya Elen, was the one who came up with it, so kudos to her. And I'm not surprised either that she beat me to it, considering she's the one with the game design classes under her belt. Anyway. And with that, that was kind of a new enemy type. He was really a Sniper Joe, but he forgot all about his shield. And as you can see, knowing about the ability to stop the elites as well as start them can be very, very useful. And of course, the stopping ability is the one that isn't the best communicated. These ladder climbing Sniper Joes only appear once in the entire level. And we have a new enemy type, the Red Pawn. It charges towards you, bouncing as it goes. And the closer it gets to you, the slower it begins to move. It's a fairly simple enemy. And it's raining Joes. Yeah, you're gonna need to know that they can do that, because that's gonna become important later on our little escort jobs. And one last new trick, the Air Striker. That plane will ever so often fly overhead and rain bombs down on your head, necessitating that you take cover beneath these conveniently placed ceiling bits. They can be rather tricky. Believe it or not, you can't exactly see it right now, but the Air Striker is actually piloted by another Joe. So, lots and lots of Joes in this stage. And lots of elites to boot. In fact, we have a mid-boss battle with nothing but elites. That being said, 2 elites, still not exactly what I would call dangerous, in any sense of the term. And now, we're headed into enemy territory, folks. Which of course means now, we're gonna need a bit of escorting. Okay, go. Oh, crud. Haha, that was poorly handled right there. I should have scouted ahead a little more. Oh well. There. Okay, stop. Go. Stop. Go. Stop. Kill. Go. Alright, we're through. Oh, come on, you blasted thing! In the original beta test, that AI for the Elite used to be significantly derpier. Just in case this stage wasn't tricky enough. I am glad, though, that the AI got improved. So they're a bit smarter than they used to be. Not by much, though. They are still fairly derpy. They still need assistance in order to get through this area safely. And that was a bit clutch at the end there. Also, be careful. That air striker can hit you in the face on that final ladder. Okay. This one is the nasty piece of work. Going to want to do plenty of scouting ahead here. And make sure to get your little friend to safety as soon as possible. It can be very, very difficult if you are not careful, if you are not using the scouting method, and, of course, if you're not stopping your elite either. But it is doable all in one shot, assuming you know what you're doing. That is not an easy level. Escorting the elites can prove very, very, very difficult, even if you do know what to do. I freely admit, when I was first running through this beta test, the level took me several tries to get right. Of course, that being said, I now at least consider myself something resembling an expert, besides a few occasional curse derps, which that tends to happen. The stage itself is really workable, though. I actually really like it. It's very warlike. You have to scout ahead to see what's going on in front of you. You have to escort weaker units. You have to duck for cover. You'll end up needing help to get into places. Teamwork. Even the fact that this level is just harder to wrap your head around and get through than most. The war theme is very present and very well executed here. Even if there's a lot of people who don't like this place, because newsflash, war sucks! Anyway, enough gushing about the stage itself. Warman is an odd one for me. I am not entirely sure how electricity and explosives come together to make a crusader, who doesn't use either of them but instead relies on a sword. Like, Warman is an odd one for that. Granted, electricity and explosives can both be used as weapons of war, so I guess it makes a degree of sense in terms of his name and stage. Warman himself, a lot of people have difficulty with him, enough that he ended up on the TV Tropes That One Boss page. Time for me to show you why that's probably wrong. Because, newsflash, if you know what you're doing, he's very, very easy. To explain how he works, you have to run in front of him, and right in front of him, in order to get him to attack. His shield will defend him from attacks just fine. He has the two attacks. That air slash that goes over your head, and that little sword beam stab. Do 3 points of damage to him, and he jumps to the other side of the room like that. If you know all of that, or you just abuse charge shots against him, he's incredibly easy. You get in his face, trick him into attacking, get away from him, jump over his sword stab if you have to, and then retaliate. He'll jump over you, land on the other side of the room, lather, rinse, repeat. And when he goes for the sword stab, just remember to slide beneath him. And if you shoot him enough, and do the 3 points of damage to him again, he'll still jump to the other side of the room. Warman is easy. He is probably one of the easiest bosses in the game. You just have to know how to fight him. Once you do know how, though, well, you guys saw how I actually managed to perfect run him, and trust me, that's not hard. It doesn't take me very many attempts, even without charge shots, to take him out. No damage, buster only. Warman's a freaking wimp. Anyway, with that, that was the stage. Another tricky one. I have to admit, my heart's still pounding a little. So maybe for the next episode, we'll take on something a little easier. Maybe. At the very least, we'll be taking on a stage that's maybe just a touch more normal. Maybe. Anyway, with that, thank you all very much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed this episode. I do hope, for any of you who are having trouble with Warman's stage, this gives you a little insight in how to deal with him. And I shall see you again for the next episode. Until then, goodbye!